Hi everybody, it's Mark again, and I got this spring all cleaned up, but now we have to put it back on the movement, and we have to tighten it up again in order to put the movement together. So remember I told you that you have to have that spring to the left of this little stud right here. So I have to have my eyes. So put the plates back on, keeping that stud pushing against that spring. Getting a nut started. Now this time around, we're going to put the screwdriver in and then wind it up, and then we're going to use a zip tie to clamp it down. As you can see, the spring is winding up. Now you have to be pretty careful because you don't want your screwdriver to come out in this process. So now I need to grab a zip tie and zip tie around the spring. And like I said, make sure that you just zip tie the spring and nothing else. And that's where, if you were using wire, you would have a more difficult time than using a zip tie. I'm going to tighten the zip tie up as much as I can get it, and like before, I'm going to pull the screwdriver out and the spring is going to unravel in the zip tie. So now I can take these plates off and put the movement back together. And this would be an okay time to put oil onto this spring. If you watch my other videos, I use either a piece of wire that I smush down with a ball peen hammer, or a toothpick, and dip my piece of wire into the oil and then dip it where it needs to go. And as you wind up this spring and as it unwinds, it will lubricate more, but you don't want to put too much on it, or the oil is going to go all over the movement. I think that's enough. So now I have to put this thing back together and try to figure out how it went back together. But I downloaded my video because I don't pay attention, so stand by. I talked about this before, but this is pith wood. It's good for cleaning up pivots and other parts of your clock. It's actually, watchmakers use it a lot, but it's really good for cleaning up parts of a clock. And then you also want to take a toothpick, I already did it to the other plate, but clean off the pivot holes. Even though you put it in the ultrasonic cleaner will not get the hard to reach parts. As you can see by this toothpick, it's pretty dirty, and that's from the gummed up oil of the clock needing serviced. So I got most of it back together. What I don't have together is this part right here, the birch assembly, but I'm going to put that on after I put the rest of it on. And so we'll get back to you after I put this together. Okay, I have everything else in except for the escapement wheel, and that's what I'm going to try to do now on camera. I got the nut loose. I got one pivot in. I just need to pry the plates apart a little bit to and there it is. Everything is in. As you can see, the teeth are grabbing the escapement wheel. Now I need to put the nuts on, tighten them up, oil the movement, and then tighten the spring. Stand by. The movement is oiled, everything's tightened up. Now I'm going to tighten up the spring and remove my zip tie. Zip tie is loose. I can cut it off. I need a sharper blade in this knife. zip ties off. Now I have to adjust the verge assembly to get the beat. But in order to do that, I got to figure out how this clock goes on. I got to figure out whether the clock movement goes on straight or whether it goes on crooked. I don't know how to explain that to you. And plus, this thing is bent. It cannot be bent like this, so I'm going to have to straighten it out. It can't be touching the case. For some reason, something don't look right to me. I think what it is, the spring is still bent and it's touching the case. And I'm pretty sure that the see, that looks like it would be crooked. So that is about the way it is. So I need to figure out, I need to adjust the crutch assembly is what I'm getting at. There it looks like it's ticking away. Hopefully it still ticks away when I put this thing back in. I think the spring is still touching the case, but I'm gonna put these nuts on and see if it's touching the case after I tighten up these nuts. Because like I said, the virgin crutch assembly cannot be touching the case. As you can see, it's touching the case. So I have to straighten it out. without losing you, hopefully. Alright. Take this case back off. Y'all don't need to see me do all this. So I'm going to pause the camera. The only thing I'm doing is adjusting this virgin crutch assembly so it doesn't touch the case. So if you have a problem with yours, you got to figure out how to adjust it. You basically have to adjust it with it out of this case. Okay, I got the virgin crutch assembly adjusted. So now I'm going to put the rest of the clock back on. What I don't like about this clock are these stupid springs that are getting in my way as I try to get the thing in beat. And I know people are going to ask me, how do you put it in beat? This is the way I did it. Whether it's right or not, I don't know. But like I said, there's a groove in the birch assembly that goes into the teeth on the escapement wheel. So what you have to do is grab a hold of this birch assembly with your hands or a pair of pliers or whatever, and then move this in one direction or the other until you can get it to swing back and forth. Again, those stupid chains are in my way. Until you can get it to swing back and forth. And it was swinging back and forth. It's just the stupid chains are in my way. I can't put them in there. The weights would be in my way. As you can see, it's swinging back and forth. It's just that the chains, I think they need to be adjusted so they don't get in my way. So now it's time to put the face on, and then at a later date I will get a bob, and they're just a metal piece is all it is. I might glue a penny or something on this to and then just adjust the hands all the time, because you wouldn't be able to adjust the penny if I glued it to the pendulum rod assembly. But anyway, I hope y'all like this video. I'm going to go ahead and put this thing back together, and we'll show you it up and running. Stand by. Anyway, it's up and running. I went to wind this one because I told you the pendulum birds, they don't come that well. They come with a flat metal, and you got to bend that metal over that to make a tab. Anyway, I glued it and it came unglued, but Anyways, up and running. I hope y'all like this video. Please hit the subscribe button because it's free to do so. And God bless.